Exactly.
Coming up next, an Eyewitness News Nightcast tonight, Red Sox Express continues. Roger Clemens throws the 3. The Sox beat the Yankees 2-0. The Deadheads converge on Boston Garden tonight as the Grateful Dead take the stage. With tonight's top story, the Stewart murder investigation takes yet another turn. The grand jury wants to hear from the once prime suspect, Willie Bennett. Late details next on Nightcast.
Its conclusions. Liz?
Okay, Dan, thank you. In other news, a Continental Airlines jet made an emergency landing this evening at Detroit Metropolitan Airport.
Frozen coconut candy bars were found to contain high levels of cholera organisms and other bacteria. Health officials say that they should be discarded or returned to the store where they were purchased.
They've been creating their own special brand of music for 26 years. And to their fans, it seems they'll still be rocking well into the next century. Tonight, the Grateful Dead played the first of 6 sold-out shows at Boston Garden, an aging arena that also appears to defy the common logic of survival. Eyewitness newsman Mike Macklin reports the Dead and their legion of followers appear nowhere close to quitting.
2 hours before concert time, and Causeway Street in front of Boston Garden is packed. These are the Deadheads, the eternally faithful fans of the 60s rock group that now enjoys even greater adulation than they did during the psychedelic 60s that spawned them.
It's not just a music, it's a feeling. I don't know, I can't explain. We go everywhere, though.
It's a really good band, man. You know?
They came from near and far for the first show of the band's sold-out 6-night gig.
We're talking about $10 million in spending that's going to take place over the 6 nights that they're here. And that is in hotel rooms, restaurants, the pubs, people buying souvenirs, transportation costs, cost of just buying tickets to participate in the concert. So it's big money.
The band arrived in Boston from New York and another string of sellout concerts. And many of the Deadheads follow the band wherever they go. Mike Malloy has attended more than 500 concerts over the past 20 years.
It's a pleasant style of music. The crowds, as you can see, they're the same everywhere you go, and I've been all over the country seeing them, and it's just warmth and love. It reminds me of the old Haight-Ashbury days.
When the garden doors opened, those lucky enough to have tickets filed in for the show. For Boston Garden President Larry Moulter, months of planning began to pay off.
Prepared a lot differently for this one. We started 6 months ago with the Boston Police and the Grateful Dead security people and management people. They know the Dead people better than anybody else. They came into town in April and they continually visited the location, met with us in the city throughout the summer.
On stage, the graying band headed by Jerry Garcia played the funky, surreal music that's kept them and their fans going for 26 years. Oh, they call me Jack of True. After more than a quarter of a century in a music industry where tastes change and groups come and go, the Grateful Dead continue to prove they are very much still alive and well. Mike Macklin, TV4 Eyewitness News, Nightcast.
5 more shows are on tap for Boston Garden before the Dead move on, and as we mentioned, all are sold out.
Coming up next on Nightcast, Governor Weld captures the nationwide spotlight with his proposed abortion legislation.
George. Take off thrust. No one seems to...
Grateful Dead has come to town, and so have thousands of their devoted followers. I'm Jerry D'Amico. We'll introduce you to some of them in a story coming up.
You were around Boston Garden tonight. You know the story. The Grateful Dead in town, so were thousands of their devoted followers, the so-called Deadheads. The band has developed a cult following that's endured now for decades. News 7's Jerry D'Amico tells us behind a true Deadhead is more than music. It's a way of life.
Faithful fans began gathering in the streets around Boston Garden hours before the concert was scheduled to start, as rush hour commuters slipped through an unusual-looking crowd.
You'll do a cartwheel for $1?
Uh-huh. 1 cartwheel.
Fans of all ages, Deadheads. They came in purple school buses and VW buses, some from far away. You came from where?
California.
For this concert?
Yeah, well, for New York, too.
You don't really look like a Deadhead.
I'm not. I mean, I just go to concerts. It's a fun time. It's a good time.
From California, we traveled almost 4,000 miles for Jerry Garcia because he's the best. Hi, Jerry. I love you, Jerry.
In a beat-up Chevy wagon with 4 pug dogs. I was a little scared there for a minute.
You were scared?
Yeah.
Jerry? Your name is Jerry? I love you, too. I love anyone by the name of Jerry, okay?
And these unlikely-looking deadheads from Marblehead.
We love Jerry, and we're happy to be here. And everybody's having fun here. It's good, clean fun, you know?
Can you do a 70-cent cartwheel?
I'll have for one, all right?
All right.
All right.
A finger in the air means I need a ticket. Many sell trinkets to buy tickets and pay the cost of following the group around the country.
That's what I do for a living. Follow the dead.
What do you do besides travel to all the concerts?
I go to rainbow gatherings. I like to stop in some cities and feed hungry people. I make jewelry.
Oh, goodness.
That's a half one. Thank you.
I'm surely grateful that they appreciate it and they keep us busy, as long as they don't take it too seriously.
The music brought the deadheads to their feet. Guitarist Jerry Garcia has led the band for a quarter-century and is now the hero for a whole new generation of deadheads. And long after the show started, hundreds of faithful were still outside, hoping for a ticket.
So you won't believe what goes on inside. You should go. You should go. You should go.
The Dead will play 6 shows, and every one of them is sold out. Jerry D'Amico, News 7, Boston.
Absolutely.
All right, thanks, Dix.
Technical terms.
Still to come, the Sox show a little Yankee ingenuity tonight over Fenway.
And later in Boston tonight, a wild flash back to the 60s. Dixie Watley brings us the return of the dead.
It's not a wagon, not a van, but...
Designing our lingerie.
For a pennant, Roger Clemens is making a push for the Cy Young Award. Clemens 3-hit the Yankees tonight for his 5th win in a row that supports end over Melrose. So there you go. Bad day for Mel Hall.
I
guess.
A good
day.
Hopefully a long weekend for Mel Hall.
We can't end soon enough.
All right, thanks, Mike.
Good night. Finally tonight, what a concert tonight at the Garden. Dixie is just back from the dead, and the script says, and boy, is she grateful. Are you?
Yes.
Grateful
Fun? I got to go.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, I was sort of a little trepidation. You know it's supposed to be a 3-ring circus, and indeed it was. Now, any band that sells out 6 nights at the Boston Garden cannot be dismissed with simply a tolerant eye roll, and I've seen a lot of those this week. The Grateful Dead are fascinating dichotomies, superstars without hit records. They symbolize the 60s, yet the band members themselves are constantly evolving. New projects, new music, no tie-dyed T-shirts. Pragmatic but philosophical, they're guys that you would like to talk to without a concert looming. And they are musicians of exceptional caliber.
You forced me to see you done better by me. Better by me than I've done by you.
This is the music that inspires a following like no other. And a loyalty, a tribal gathering, a ritual, but with a soundtrack which changes nightly.
And you can't make anybody play what they played the night before. It's just not, this is not the animal. So it's different for us every night, so we don't know what we're going to expect up there. That's why they keep coming back, I'm sure, and that's why I keep coming back.
How many concerts have you been to?
Over 1,000. I've been seeing them for 14 years, and I've been seeing them solid for 5 years.
What do you mean solid?
Every show that they've played, pretty much.
They bring me happiness and a place where we can all come and be together and just spread the love and groove to some good music.
And fans can take that music home. The Dead do the unheard of, allow their concerts recorded.
Over, she went and looked around. Among the dead and the wounded, her dark voice she found.
We play different every night, and the kids, some of them like to tape it. We're in the business of making music, not keeping it.
We keep everything in the vineyard before. That's it in every way.
Oh, yes. This was a unique experience for me, and heaven knows I've been to enough concerts and talked to enough musicians to have some perspective. The circus outside contrasts with a backstage calm that I have rarely seen. An on-stage musical unity and focus which, instead of setting the band apart, envelops the audience. It's a mutual dedication. I'm glad I got to share in it for an evening. Although I don't think I'm going to be trailing around the country with some of these folks who've seen 2,000 concerts.
They're having fun, too.
That, I think, is what stands out. It's not, we're not out here to sell a record. We're out here to have you enjoy a concert.
Exactly.
It shows.
All right, plenty more nights ahead.
Oh, yeah. And thanks for joining us. Have a wonderful weekend.
If you didn't get enough of the Dead as we leave you, we have some more. Have a nice weekend, everyone.
Good night.
Went down to a tailor shop and dressed in men's gray. She climbed on board a vessel to convey herself away. Oh, convey herself away.